Hello and welcome to Chapter 6, Movement. Movement is essentially extremely important when teaching children about music. It can be a catalyst for the child's emotions. It can be a catalyst for the emotions of a song. When you're teaching the child, movement can be helpful with active listening and trying to get them to pay attention to some of the more minute details in a song. An example being, you could have your kids do a Eurythmic. You could have your kids do a Eurythmic dance where they would be moving to how they feel the music. Say you're playing Clair de Lune by Debussy, and you can have children using their non-locomotor movements and swaying and moving their arms around as they're listening. Then you can have them listen to, having them listen to orchestral music, you can have them march to a steady beat that one of the instruments is playing, which would be a creative movement. You could have them move to a beat pattern. Yeah, the differences between eurythmic and dances. Eurythmics is really just having your children moving. It's very freeing. It's how you want to move. Whereas a dance is a usually scripted form of movements that you want your children to partake in. The principles of movement. They're both connected with time. One of the biggest principles of music is just keeping time, keeping a steady rhythm, keeping a steady beat, and making sure that your kids are able to talk about what they heard keeping the beat, whether the instrument was scratchy, whether the instrument was scratchy, or whether the instrument was a loud boom, 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 but just making sure that they have a really steady beat. How to prepare for definitely having a lot of space is a great way to prepare for movement activities. Pushing all the desks to the sides of the room and then having them focus in the middle. One thing though is to always have them see you. So you should have them, if you're going to form a circle, you should be at the front of the circle. You should never be inside of the circle. You should always be at the front of the circle. Some kinds of the different kinds of movement. There's non-locomotor movement, which is where you're stationary but you're still feeling and you're moving your arms and you're exploring your low space and your high space. And then there is locomotor movements where you're really just moving around. You're using your high space, your low space, your arms are moving, your legs are moving, but you are not talking. And then, you can do some action songs, which like the Cotton Eye Joe or the Cupid Shuffle is a great example of an action song where it tells you what it wants you to be doing. And that was Chapter 6.